I do.
Okay.
So, I have a question. Give one of those to Bob. Ask either the Ohio Revised Code concerning executive session, because I need to understand it better. All right. So, do I have time to read it, Kelly?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So the Ohio Administrative Code, Rule 3358-17-104.2, executive sessions. There are 6 valid reasons for holding an executive session. The vote to go into executive sessions must be a roll call vote. The motion and vote must specify the purpose of the executive session, i.e., to consider the purchase of property. If the specified purpose is to discuss one of the personnel-related matters governed by Division G1 of Section 121.22 of the Revised Code, listed in paragraph A1 of this rule, the public body must specify which of the listed purposes it is going into executive session to discuss, i.e., to discuss the dismissal of an employee. The motion need not name the person who is to be discussed. It is not sufficient to move for executive session to discuss personnel. Motion or vote should specify one or more the purposes set forth in paragraph A1 of this rule. 1, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing by Division G1 of Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. To consider 2, to consider the purchase of property, both real and personal, tangible or intangible, or to consider the sale of property, either real or personal, by a competitive bid if disclosure of the information will give a competitive advantage to the other side by Division G2 of Section 121.22 of the Revised Code. 3, conferences with the public body's attorney concerning pending or imminent court action by Division G3 of Section 121.22 of the Revised Code. Court action is pending if the suit has been commenced. Court action is imminent if it is on the point of happening or impending. 4, preparing for, conducting, or reviewing collective bargaining strategy by Division 4. G4 of Section 121.22 of the Revised Code. 5, matters required to be kept confidential by federal law, federal rules, or state statutes by Division G5 of Section 121.22 of the Revised Code. 6, specialized details of security arrangements or disclosure of the information to be discussed in executive session might reveal information that could be used to commit or avoid prosecution for a violation of the law by Division G6 of Section 121.22 of the Revised Code. B, restrictions on the use of executive sessions. 1, provisions allowing executive sessions are to be strictly construed in favor of openness. 2, the public body has the burden of demonstrating that one of the statutory exemptions allows the executive session. 3, only deliberation upon the accepted subject can be held in executive session. Decision making must still be carried out in public. 4, even where non-accepted matters are so intertwined with matters allowed to be discussed in executive session, the non-accepted matters may not be discussed in secret. And 5, a court may look beyond the expressly stated reason for holding an executive session in order to find an implied or circumstantial violation. So the reason that I read that is we went into executive session 3 weeks ago concerning a letter. And I guess when I look at, first of all, when I look at that.
So, let me interrupt you,
Okay.
Andrea. So, we went into executive session. Everything in executive session, as you know, is confidential. By talking about this now, it is not confidential. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Why is it, where does it say what we discussed was, what made it confidential?
It's in our rules. It's in the Millersburg rules.
But on this code, that decision-making should not have been done in public?
Okay, Andrea, I think what you're trying to say is that we shouldn't have gone into executive session 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
I made the legal decision that court action was imminent, therefore executive session was proper. Now, if you want to disagree with that, that's fine, but it's unusual. And what would happen if somebody feels that their rights have been violated because of that? They can file a lawsuit against the village, and it would be perfectly proper for them to do that. Now, if a council member wants to file a court action against council, that's probably possible too. I've never seen it or heard of it before, but that's probably your prerogative.
What's imminent? What's
Okay,
imminent?
again, Andrea, you are not an attorney. I know that Jeff is.
But I can read this.
You know what? Do you know how many court cases there are on what imminent means?
Imminent
You would
means
have- you would-
at the point of happening or impending.
You would have to read every one of those court cases and see what the court had to say on what imminent means. You can't get that from an administrative code section. That's why you have attorneys advising you. You may disagree with it, and that's your prerogative. And if you want me to give counsel a legal seminar about executive session, I can do that too, but I'm not prepared to do it now. But we can't talk about what happened in executive session without violating the confidentiality. You disagree with a legal decision that I made, and that's not counsel. They didn't make that decision. I made that decision. I said, this is proper for executive session. Again, if somebody is wronged by that and they want to file a lawsuit against the village, they can do that.
Is everyone? Are we good to move on?
That's fine.
Okay. Any other new business? No? Any visitors wish to address council? No? Okay. All right. I do not believe we have anything for executive session. Does anyone have anything for executive session? No? All right. Can we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Yeah, you were sitting in that chair. Hofstadter.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Kellogg, yes. And
West.
all right. Thank you, everyone.